Best place to inject Zepbound with least side effects. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I have lost over 106 pounds the last 2 years and 2 months, or 2 years and 3 months. So it's been 27 full months of being on Zepbound, Mounjaro, and tirzepatide compound. The combination of those is because of shortages. And on today's episode, I want to deep dive into the best place to inject Zepbound for the least amount of side effects. I know so many of you are worried if you're thinking about taking Zepbound or you're titrating up, thinking about side effects and how that can impact you in your day-to-day life. I got you covered. I got you covered. Now, before we even dive in, when I was on the Oprah show for the Shame, Blame, and Weight Loss Revolution and talking with Oprah, over here, right next to Oprah's feet, were a panel of doctors, super smart from the Cleveland Clinic, obesity specialists. Like, they are the go-to in the country for being super, super knowledgeable about obesity management. They said less than 1% of people have severe Zepbound side effects. So yes, full disclosure, and this is not medical advice, never to be interpreted as medical advice, always talk to your own healthcare provider. This is simply my experience, strength, and hope of doing over 105 Zepbound, Mounjaro, and tirzepatide compound injections and being really successful with it and wanting to encourage and share with others to be in our community to hopefully have success as well. So less than 1% of people have serious side effects. They are there. We should know about them, like pancreatitis, appendicitis. There's a black box thyroid cancer warning, but that is if you have a familial genetic link on that thyroid cancer, like it's the genetic one. And so there's a couple of other gnarly, and if you're in that less than 1%, that really stinks. But more than 99% of people don't have those severe side effects, but they do have the most common ones, which are diarrhea, constipation, nausea, vomiting, their stomach ones. And so we're going to kind of talk about that in terms of our injection strategy. I am a strategist to begin with. I have owned 3 multi-million-dollar companies I've started from scratch. And so I like to talk strategy. Like in my day-to-day life, I'm like, okay, how can we make a weight loss strategy with it? So with it, Eli Lilly tells us in our literature, there are 3 places, 1, 2, 3 places we can do our Zepbound injections. We always, and I don't like using superlatives, but we always follow Eli Lilly's Zepbound injection instructions as to how to do it. So I'm going to go through and talk about near our belly button, our thigh, and then the back of our arm. I'm not going to I'm going to say near our belly button or our stomach, but can we agree as we start this video that we're going to follow this purple picture, that it's going to be the picture that's in our box when we get our medication, which I'm on Zepbound 15 milligrams, the highest dose, and have been on that highest dose now for over a year as well, which has been super, super helpful. To be on the highest dose has been really, really awesome. And so follow the instructions. That's tip number 1, is making sure we're following the instructions. Don't go left field here, honey. The time to go rogue is not with your injection. Specifically trying to find a new injection place. You don't need to recreate the wheel. Follow the instructions of where Eli Lilly has told us to. Next, scar tissue. Scar tissue, it tells us in the literature about scar tissue. If you are like me, when I started this medication, I was morbidly obese. I weighed over 300 pounds. And so I had a lot of scar tissue because I had a lot of stretch marks. Some were active, like the purple kind. And now like 2+ years into it, I have white stretch marks. They're scarred stretch marks. And then in the literature, it tells us in that literature that scar tissue can affect Zepbound absorption and efficacy of the medication. So do not inject into scar tissue, swollen tissue, or injured tissue, because it could affect, it could affect the absorption of your Zepbound or the efficacy of Zepbound. So that's straight out the gate. If you're worried about side effects, Zepbound side effects, then let's avoid that scar tissue area. For me, when we go back over to these 3 areas and we go back to my body shape, I have scar tissue on my stomach. I have scar tissue on my thighs. And I don't think I have scar tissue on the back of my arm, but there probably is. I just can't see it. I mean, if I flip her upside down here, I probably could see it on there. But I know for sure my stomach is heavily, it's all scar tissue. Eventually I'm going to get loose skin removal and that'll take care of some of that scar tissue, but For now, I have scar tissue. So I am mindful. I'm very demure. I'm very mindful when I'm doing my tummy inject to try to avoid. I'm not actively going to be putting that needle into a scar tissue plate, like the line of where I have scar tissue. Now, also, if you have, where's mine? I have a really gnarly scar on the back of my arm too. It's from moving back in the day. Where is it? Oh, it's this one. This is not where we're injecting. Can you guys see that? It's like a line right there. It's from jamming my arm into a rusty U-Haul thing, and I had to get a tetanus shot when I was a teenager. Anyways, that I would not want to inject there. Not that that's not where we're injecting it. We agreed at the beginning of this video, we got to follow the instructions of where we inject it. But as an example, if that was on the back of my arm, I would be mindful not to do it near there because that is going to affect it. Next, 3 places to do the injections. For me, what I want you to do for best possible success is track. A tracked number grows. And we have on countessofshopping.com your one-stop shop for all things GLP-1 lifestyle related. It's like the Oprah of GLP-1 on my website to help encourage you, motivate you. There is a free injection tracker. Start tracking your data. And you can put on here of where it was your thigh, was it the back of your arm or your left thigh or your right thigh. For me, I really found through my injection tracker, it didn't matter if it was my left arm or my right arm, it was just my arms. And what specifically then, what's the result of those side effects? I found for me, so that's on countessofshopping.com. I will link that hyperlink also in the description link below, as is all of today's resources. Just click the ... more button down there. So you can track. If you don't want a printable, a paper printable, great. Then track it on your phone. Make a note and just track it in notes for yourself. But I would do some form of tracking. With that, we know then the most common side effects are diarrhea, constipation, nausea, and vomiting. Just wanted to make sure you're paying attention. And so with those, how can we mitigate those side effects when we have them? For me, knowing the different injection sites has been helpful to know. For my back of my arm, I have more side effect issues. That is me. If anyone tells you a blanket statement about side effects for all people, run. Because morbid obesity and obesity, it's a there's a wide spectrum with obesity. The more I learn about obesity as a disease, my brain gets blown, because we are so different in so many ways, so similar in so many ways, but also so different in so many ways. And so the back of my arm, I have the most side effects. If I want to feel, as I've gone through different doses, those have ebbed and flow, which I'm going to talk about. But I know through tracking, the back of my arm is going to give me the most side effects. Now, that is not a blanket statement for you to say the back of your arm is going to have the same thing, because we have different body compositions. We have different medical conditions with it. There's a lot of variables that go into that. And so me making a blanket statement on today's video, and this is our next tip, is not going to be helpful for you. What is going to be helpful for you is to find out for yourself specifically. And if anyone tells you specifically, your thigh is going to give you the most problems, run, Forrest, because that is not a reputable person. I have found that it's different, but some people have found that there is no difference in the different areas. That with all 3 of these, they have the equal and same amount of side effects, regardless of injection site. So that is also something to note. Because we have different buckets for our injections, we have hyper responders, we have hypo responders, we have normal responders, and then we have non-responders. And so depending on what you are out of those 4 buckets, it is also going to change your side effects too. Now, one of the best things I did, I ended up buying BIOPTIMIZERS magnesium a while back because an influencer, she used it. And I was like, oh, well, if she uses it, I'm going to use it. And I trusted her, and I knew that she wouldn't BS me, because I had been using magnesium from Amazon. It had 1 type of magnesium in it. BIOPTIMIZERS has 7 types of magnesium in their magnesium breakthrough. I think this is a fresh bottle, but I'll open it to show you guys. It has in there to help. It's helped me dramatically with constipation. I don't have constipation anymore. I typically take 2 to 3 of these per day, but the benefits of magnesium, and I've cited so many different studies as to why magnesium, particularly for people on a weight loss journey, are really, really helpful. Obviously, talk to your healthcare provider before taking any sort of supplements. But in terms of side effects, specifically with gastrointestinal, specifically with diarrhea, oh my gosh, Huge. And now because so many people are like, okay, well, I trust you, Countess. I know you won't BS me. They've taken it and they're like, I've had the same thing. But it's helped me with constipation, muscle recovery from lifting. Now with me lifting, this has been a big thing in particular is I absolutely love having, it helps with my muscle recovery from lifting. It's a big deal to take this. So lifting, the muscle recovery, constipation, fatigue, Zepbound fatigue, because this helps me fall asleep. There's one of the 7 types of magnesium helps with sleep. And it's not, I used to take melatonin, I don't anymore. It is a very like natural drifting, so which is why I take it 30 to 60 minutes before bed. And I typically take 2 or 3 of these per night. And I've done that for quite some time now. Now it's just routine. I have my mouth guard in, I take these with my water. They do have a powder format if you don't like pills, but I highly recommend in terms of side effects, if you are experiencing constipation or wanting muscle recovery or sleep issues, use the discount code QUEEN for extra savings. And they have other supplements too, like prebiotics and probiotics and proteins and things like that, and collagen and stuff that I always recommend in all my videos. But that discount code that I negotiated for y'all, the extra savings, you can use it on all their stuff. So making sure in terms of your side effects, for me, once I tested, so we're gonna go through and test, and this is gonna take you a couple of months to figure out, right? If you go back over to my free tracker, my side effects tracker, we're gonna wanna rotate. I didn't rotate at the beginning. And in fact, if I had to go back and start Zepbound again, I probably still wouldn't rotate because I was terrified to inject in my thigh because I thought it was gonna hurt. I was terrified for sure to inject in the back of my arm. At the time, and it said in our literature to have somebody, it still says, to have someone else inject it in the back of your arm, but now I just do it myself. I've done videos as to how I do it myself because sometimes my hot husband isn't available. I did it for my stomach, but I would rotate around my stomach like a clock. So I wasn't hitting that same tissue over again because that can make scar tissue if you keep hitting the same spot over and over. But that was very helpful for me when I first started just doing my stomach. If I could go back, I probably wouldn't rotate, just being honest here. But I wish I would have, because then I would have figured out the back of my arm, whew, a lot more side effects. And also because of the side effects, I know a lot more appetite suppression, and I know more weight loss that week for me. More side effects, more weight loss for me, right? Because if I'm having blowout diarrhea, typically for me, I'm not eating as much. I'm not eating as much. Or if I'm nauseous, and I am on Zepbound 15 milligrams, do not have nauseousness and vomiting. I've only vomited, was it 2 or 3 times now? But since taking Zepbound 15 milligrams, I didn't have that for any other dose. And so you may not have any. This is the other thing. You may not have any side effects. And one of my besties is taking semaglutide. Him and his partner are both taking semaglutide. And I'm like, have you guys both had side effects? And no, we haven't. His husband just titrated up to like the 3rd dose and had a little bit of constipation. I'm like, let me ship you some BIOPTIMIZERS. Let's get the BIOPTIMIZERs out. Because that for me was one of the best things I did to help. Like I just don't have that issue anymore. And plus I also eat a high fiber diet of like fruits and vegetables too. I'm conscious of that. In addition to my proteins, I'm also making sure I'm getting fresh fruits and vegetables, and frozen fruits and vegetables too, to help with that as well. But so side effects, tracking those, knowing those, and then rotating sites. And if that's too scary for you, then don't, right? Like don't, go at your own pace. For me, I plan to be on this medication for the rest of my life, with the information I have right now. To me, it's akin of telling somebody who has high blood pressure, oh, get off your blood pressure medication after a year. Well, if it's a genetic predisposition for me, and I'm genetically predisposed for the biomarkers for obesity as a disease, why would I want to get off my obesity management medication? For me, that doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. See, my Martinsville, Virginia sometimes pops out with my dud, really trying to work on that. Does not make sense. So having data, it's not emotional. A track number grows, and having that data then helps me to make educated decisions each week as to where I'm rotating my shot. For me, again, the left and the right side don't really matter, but maybe for you it does. I haven't seen any data that does matter. And when side effects pop up, I am prepared. I'm a former Girl Scout. On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country at all times to help people and live by the Girl Scout law. I'm still a Girl Scout at heart, so pre-prepping for those, I have all the solutions. If I have diarrhea, I do this. If I have constipation, I do this. If I have nausea, I do this. Like, I have all of that underneath my kitchen sink, underneath my sink in a little box, and that box is moved. So it was under my sink, but now like it's moved. To help me with as I rotate doses. But I have that prepared just in case, because the worst thing that happened to me also is we went to Disney as a family. This was it was 2 years ago, 2 years ago. And I got some, my tummy was not doing well and I didn't have anything with me. And so that would be my recommendation too. If you travel, just bring backup. I'm getting ready for a big trip. I've got in my suitcase, like my extra little side effect supplies. Not that I'm anticipating an issue, but just in case. Side effects also can be induced, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I can make them worse. And I hate saying this to people sometimes, but it's true. For me, my side effects get worse when I'm not making good food choices, and that is self-induced. And I can say that with love, grace, kindness, and compassion. My side effects are worse because I am not picking proper foods for myself. If I'm eating a super high-fat diet, which I used to do keto, you do you, and I know many of you do you, but for me, I cannot do keto because it slip and slides right through me like a 1980s slip and slide shooter. Like, no, ma'am, Pam, it is not happening. But that is self-induced. I had to learn that twice. Apparently, I wasn't smart enough the first time and had to do a second go around with testing that theory, and it did not fare well for me. And so testing different foods to find out my different reactions, also super helpful to know with my tracker. I got blowout diarrhea after eating X, Y, and Z. Y'all, I had that a couple weeks back. I wanted a McDonald's burger. It was a cheeseburger, and I wanted a McDonald's French fry and a crispy Diet Coke from McDonald's. If you know about those crispy Diet Cokes. Y'all, I had eaten some of it in the car as we were driving home. I thought, this is crass, and so plug your ears and don't let children listen to this. I literally thought I was gonna poop my pants. Like, that was self-induced, right? Like, no, McDonald's was not a good choice for me. Those French fries, not a good choice for me. I didn't even have the whole thing, and I wasn't, like, that was the crazy part of it. It was near my shot, so for me, the side effects happen 24 to 48 hours after my injection. So after my injection, 24 to 48 hours for me. How do I know that? My free tracker. Again, this is why tracking is so important in my humble opinion. And there's also, like I said, apps, or you could use like Google Spreadsheet or things like that. Super helpful. And then the time of the day, I used to harp more on this. If you go back to, I have over 600 Zepbound videos and TIRZEPATIDE and Manjaro, and go back and I'm a completely different person. I don't look like the way I look anymore from those videos, which is crazy for me even to go back and look at. I'm like, I'm a different person. But in some of those videos, I talked a lot about time of day, and that has mattered now 2 years into it less. But when I was first starting, it did matter too, of if I took my shot in the morning, the afternoon, or evening, because I was more sensitive to the side effects. That may be something I want to throw out to you, and you can catch that ball or not. But that may be something worth trying to see if it matters at all. Now it doesn't really. I do my shot whatever the day is, I do my shot. So to give some context on that, because I think that does also matter too. I hope that this has been helpful for you. And make sure you go down below and go shop at bioptimizers.com/queen, QUEEN. It's linked down in the description link below, or you could just go to Bioptimizers and use the discount code QUEEN at checkout. But that link, bioptimizers.com/queen, that specific site has all of my favorite picks. It's got 6 of my favorite things that I'm obsessed with Bioptimizers. And I've used them for quite some time, and I talk about them often because I love them. Like, they're an integral part of my family and for myself. Your next question of the day is, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? Mine are focusing in on, I'm getting ready to literally get on an airplane here after this video. And so I need to go shower and get changed, and I haven't packed my suitcase, but I'm also packing my Zepbound injection to take with me on my trip. If you haven't seen what I use, I'll link that also on my Amazon shopping list down below too in the description. My travel container for my Zepbound. But that's my accountability, is bring my shot with me. Last time I forgot it when I traveled, and it was a disaster. And then number three is, what's number 3? or our emoji of the day. I do emojis of the day because it helps me to get to know you better because I care. And our emoji of the day is flower because we are in April right now as I'm filming this. You may be watching this in like dead of winter in the future, but in April, and it's beautiful flowers are blooming here in Virginia. So let your flower bloom. We're coming out of winter, going to a beautiful spring season. So let your light shine, baby. You got this. You can do this. And I'm cheering you on, truly. I have a free encouragement group linked down below. I would love for you to join. And also on countessofshopping.com/shop, SHOP, has all of my discount codes. If you're like, oh my gosh, it has everything linked on there too. So, and sometimes that's easy. I know a bunch of you watch TV. That may be easier for some of you to go check out. So my beautiful friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye, friends.